to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. And for those of you all who are wondering, that is not Rasheed Wallace. That's Bernard King. Okay. Yeah, that's Bernard King. It is funny to think, though, at one time, the Washington Bullets, they had Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, Rod Strickland, Robert Pack, Mark Price. Okay. That team could have, and later on, Ben Wallace. Okay. That team probably could have challenged in the Eastern Conference, okay? If they had been able to keep them together, that team probably could have challenged in the Eastern Conference, okay? But Robert Pack got hurt in the 1996 season. Mark Price got hurt in the 1996 season. People forget Mark Price played with the Bullets. Yeah, he did. Mark Price and his brother Brent Price were on the same team, okay? And so Robert Pack got hurt. Mark Price got hurt. Chris Webber got hurt. Okay. And, they traded away Rasheed Wallace to Portland for Rod Strickland. Okay. And, it's crazy to think that the Bullets had all these excellent future Hall of Famers, future All-Stars. Okay. And, that team didn't go nowhere. Anyway, they actually went to the 97 playoffs where they got swept by the Bulls, though. Okay, so, yeah. So the 1990 Detroit Pistons, okay, one of the best teams in the history of the NBA. The Pistons had come off the championship season of 1989, 63-19. Then they went 59 and 20, 83, okay. In 1990, they were struggling a bit at the start of the season. They were struggling a little bit, okay. Then the change that was made was Mark Aguirre, who was in the starting lineup. He got replaced by Dennis Rodman, okay? And ironically, it was actually Mark Aguirre who suggested or came to Dennis Rodman and said, hey, you should be his starting, okay? And so Dennis Rodman was surprised at that. And so then Dennis Rodman said he will only start if Isaiah, Joe, and Bill were okay with it. And they said yes. So now you move Aguirre out from the starting lineup to the top six man coming off the bench, right? So you have a starting lineup of Rodman, Lambeer, James Edwards, Dumars, and Thomas, okay? And they won like 25 of their next 26 games, okay? And not only did they win 25 of their next 26 games, the Pistons also had their own rap video, okay? Yeah, the Pistons had their own rap music video, okay? Here it is, right here.
And enjoyed doing it.
Pump it out.
They don't have a chance. That's the bottom line. You walk out, feel like they won't win.
Do it, Detroit. Keep the crowd roaring. From New York, Chicago to Portland. Pump it up because this jam for you. Show the world what the real bad boys can do. We swept the Lakers in 4. Now we're back to take the title once more. Cause we're bad, I mean bad but good. Hammer time, so let's make it understood. You're gonna get deep, victory is sweet. The score don't lie and the refs don't cheat.
like we were going to win, and we really knew we had an ace in the hole, and that was our defense.
Against Lane Beard, turned, ball swatted away. Price has his pocket picked by Isaiah. Looking inside for longest step in front of steal by Sally. The Pistons are feeling it, and they're doing it the old-fashioned way.
Pump it up, bad boy, bad boy.
We would walk out on the floor, and no matter who we were playing, no matter what the circumstances would be, we knew we were going to win the basketball game.
Jump ball, the tip to Isaiah. Superstar up the ball, all around player. Fake the pass, give it the gas. Finger roll, counting for two. How does he do it? Only God knows. Benny Johnson, the microwave. Heats up the chain, you burn you for days. Lamb beer with a money back guarantee. A killer in the paint, hitman for three. The spider, the glider, foul for the slam. Stop him with the shot clock, knock it to the next man. Do Mars, dropping the bomb. Star Wars, a 3-point long. A quad on fire, rhyming on D. It was in the center, throwing down for me with a slam dunk. You know you can't touch this back to back. You're about to get dusted.
We were invincible. Nobody could beat us. We had a certain air about ourselves that if we went out and everybody played to their fullest, nobody could beat us.
The Pistons are smoking now.
The Pistons have turned it up a notch. Well, what a play! What a play!
Yeah. Pump it up. Detroit Pistons. Pump it up. Yeah. That's how good the Detroit Pistons were. The Detroit Pistons were so good they even had their own music video. Okay, right. Yeah. So Dominique Wilkins. Okay. The Hawks had a chance to send the game into overtime, okay? The Hawks had a chance to send the game into overtime into Game 6, okay? So I believe they were trailing 102 to 100, okay? If I'm not mistaken, okay? They were trailing the Celtics 102 to 100 in Game 6, okay? Now the Hawks had a shot to send the game into overtime, okay? They inbound the ball to Cliff Livingston, and Cliff Livingston decided it was wise for him to take the game-winning shot. Cliff Livingston drives to the hole. He misses. Celtics rebound. We go on to game 7. Go figure. Whoever figured Cliff Livingston would take the last shot to send the game into overtime, right? But Isaiah Thomas recalls watching Game 6, okay, because the Pistons had just eliminated the Bulls, okay? And Isaiah Thomas said he and Dumars were watching Game 6 to see who they were going to play in the Eastern Conference Finals, okay? And Isaiah remembers the game starts. Isaiah remembered a moment when that game started. He said, the game starts, the ball goes to Danny Ainge, and he hits a 3, okay? And that set the tone for the game, okay? And when Cliff Livingston didn't make that shot to send the game into overtime, Isaiah was like, well, I guess we're playing in Boston because they're not winning in Boston. The Hawks on, okay? So the famous duel between Dominique and Larry, okay? But Dominique Wilkins tells this story, okay? Dominique Wilkins tells a story about Larry Bird, who was having not a great game, but he was having a good game, okay? And then he tells a story of what Kevin Willis said to Dominique Wilkins, and that ignited Larry Bird. Dominique Wilkins tells his story. Here it is right here.
Bird now cuts free. Putting Boston ahead. Here's Wilkins. And that's what they must have.
Bird was having an okay game up until the fourth quarter. Kevin Willis came over and said, "Neek, don't let him score tonight." And Bird standing around. The next time I'm looking at Kevin, like, "What are you doing?" You know, Bird's eyes got like this big.
On the drive, Bird with a reverse wraparound. Wilkins from the perimeter.
That's running the offense.
Bird is open. Do they want him to take that shot? That's 3-on-1.
Larry was torturing him. Dominique was torturing me on when he had the ball.
That fourth quarter, maybe the best fourth quarter as far as mano-mano of all time.
Bird gets it in low on the turnaround against Wilkins.
Mano-mano duel. Bird versus Wilkins.
Wilkins responds.
I got to come down there offensively. I got to carry the load, and I got to keep us going.
It's Bird's turn. And the Celtics have the lead. Bird attempting to break free. Stays with it, and the foul is called. The continuation from Larry Bird. The lead changes. The Celtics once were up by 7. Dominique hits a 3.
Because they knew who was going to get the ball. It's like Robert Parrish always said, 40,000 eyes on Larry Bird because they knew he was going to get the ball. And we knew it, our opponents knew it, now it's just up to them to stop it.
And it's Bird. The Boston Celtics will win this series.
Yeah. Larry Bird is standing right there. Larry Bird is standing right there. And Kevin Willis actually comes up to Dominique Wilkins and says, "Don't let him catch it." And Dominique Wilkins, rightfully so, looking at him saying, "What are you doing?" That's like somebody who's guarding. That's like being on the court with Michael Jordan and the defender who's guarding Michael Jordan. The teammate comes up to the guy who's guarding Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan standing right there and says, "Hey, you locked down by Michael Jordan." And Michael Jordan standing there listening like, all right. Thanks for waking me up. So Kevin Willis. According to Dominique Wilkins, that's what got Larry Bird going in the head game, right? So yeah, and there have been some centers in NBA history who can hit the three, and I think it's more noticeable in today's game. Centers take threes. Giannis, Wemby, Jokic. Okay. But back then, shooting threes for big men were very unusual. Now, the two people I think of are Manute Bol and Bill Laimbeer, who, I kid you not, tied an NBA Finals record with 6 3-pointers in Game 2 of the 1990 NBA Finals, okay? Yeah. Bill Laimbeer hit 6 threes that game, okay? So, Bill Laimbeer could hit the 3. We all know Manute Bol could hit the 3. He hit 6 threes against the Suns one time, right? Yeah, so Manute Bol could hit the 3. Bill Laimbeer could hit the 3. I'm forgetting somebody else. Could hit the 3. It's escaping me, but Shaquille O'Neal, okay? You don't think of Shaquille O'Neal as a 3-point shooter, oh, right? We all know you don't think of Shaquille O'Neal as a 3-point shooter, but Shaquille O'Neal actually hit his only 3-pointer of his entire career, okay? Here it is, here.
Bill Walton the inbound, Shaq the catch. He's going to fire a 3.
Nach dem Timeout sagte gib mir den Ball. Ich möchte einen Dreier.
Yeah, that's the only 3-pointer Shaquille O'Neal ever took. No, that's the only 3-pointer he ever hit. Okay, so yeah. Speaking of Shaquille O'Neal, okay, so it's Game 2 of the 1995 NBA Finals. Okay, NBA on NBC, Matt Gukis, Marv Albert, Bill Walton are on the call. The game starts, okay? And Clyde Drexler fouls Shaquille O'Neal, okay? And he fouls Shaquille O'Neal, and Marv Albert makes a point that Shaquille O'Neal is shooting very well from the free throw line, okay? And then Bill Walton, rest in peace, man. Bill Walton, Bill Walton makes some pretty interesting comments, right? He throws shade at certain players during the broadcast, okay? And according to Marv Albert, it was a low below comment, okay? Here's what Bill Walton said.
Comes in and fouls a guy before he's ever even made a shot in the game. Shaquille O'Neal on a tear at the line. He was 6 for 8 in game 1. He'll be teaching Nick Anderson next. Oh, a low blow here from Bill in the opening minute, Matt.
Well, Shaq has had his ups and downs, no question about it, from the free throw line throughout these playoffs.
Bill Walton actually said he'll be teaching Nick Anderson next. Knowing that this man came off missing 4 straight free throws, and Bill Walton says he'll be teaching Nick Anderson next. That's Bill Walton, okay? That's Bill Walton. He made those kind of comments, okay? Made those kind of remarks during the broadcast. That's what made Bill Walton Bill Walton. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's what made Bill Walton Bill Walton, okay? And okay, so I had one more thing I wanted to discuss. Dang it. I had one more thing I wanted to discuss. Oh yeah. So it's the 1996 NBA Finals, okay? It's game 3, okay? Again, Bill Walton's doing the finals with Marv Albert and Matt Gukis, okay? And Bill Walton made the comment after Michael Jordan threw a lob pass to Luke Longley, okay, or to Tony Kukoc, or somebody like that. And Bill Walton said, I think Bill Walton said something to the effect of, maybe they need to stop throwing those lob passes. I don't think they work on those on their native countries in Yugoslavia or Croatia. And then Marv Albert said, Bill Walton turning very, very cruel here. And so then Bill Walton came back and said, well, that's how they learn the game, Marv. Okay? That's how they learn the game, right? And so then Marv Albert ended up saying, we may end up seeing Michael curb those lob passes, okay? So, yeah. That's Bill Walton. Yeah. All right. That's it. And that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am out of here. May God bless you all.